Show, lunchtime, noon till 1, Monday through Friday. Lunchtime, which is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. The Louis Bellina Show. You know, I'm down with the non-traditional holidays. Again, today is May 4th, Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you. May the 4th be with you. Get it? I'm a Star Wars geek nerd, unapologetically so. But as a texter reminded me, tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. And if you want to talk about non-traditional holidays, but it's not just Cinco de Mayo. When you have Cinco de Mayo on Taco Tuesday, that is the convergence of forces. I think it's once every 2.7 million years it happens. It is the most perfect Cinco de Mayo ever because it's on Taco Tuesday also. So back-to-back phenomenal, glorious, perfect holidays to start May. Celebrate if you so choose. We're joined now on the Deep Land Services hotline like we do each Monday. Mitch Light of The Athletic. It's the college baseball roundup. We go or preview. He keeps changing the name on me. We go around the weekend that was in college baseball. Mitch, how's your world, brother?
It's great. We've probably been over this before, but I've never seen Star Wars. Don't know any of your references or anything like that. So let's keep this a Star Wars-free zone today.
Well, we don't have to make it a Star Wars-free zone. It doesn't have to be Star Wars painful. But a quick question, since it is Star Wars Day, right? Is this like a stance you've taken? Because I know you've had the opportunity to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, I just no interest in it. I never saw the first one. I stood in line for 2 hours with friends to see, what was the second one? Was it Return of the Jedi? Or
Sure.
the third one?
Or Empire Strikes Back.
Or whatever. The second one, stood in line for like 2 hours, was in the theater for like 20 minutes and said, this stinks, went out and played video games for the next 2 hours while my friends watched the movie. And I just never seen the movie. And I just no interest. Never saw Star Trek, any of that stuff. My kids have seen it with my wife. It's not like I refuse to watch it. Just at this point, like the ship has sailed, and I'm good if I'm just not going to spend 2 hours to watch it.
Is there any science fiction that you've watched or enjoy?
Just I read Project Hail Mary and watched the movie recently. I liked the book and liked the movie, so if that counts, that is as science fiction as I get, I think.
Fair enough. Just not your book. You're more into the realism type of stuff.
I like fiction. I read fiction, read a ton of fiction. I'm reading a biography on Ulysses S. Grant right now. I just, I like to think I'm a well-read person, just don't like science fiction.
Okay, fair enough. Again, you read a biography.
That's what makes the world go round.
You're more grounded. See, you went to Vanderbilt. You went to intelligent people stuff. You don't have time for fantasy.
Yeah, there's plenty of people, who like this stuff. It's sort of like NASCAR back in the day when it was really popular. I didn't like it, but I understood that like it was a me issue because it was wildly popular. There's like Star Wars. Like I'm not saying it's dumb. I just don't like it. Clearly, it's popular and people like it. So I can admit that it's just not for me.
And I love the way you say that because that's how I feel about many things. Where I'm like, if you enjoy it, good for you. Just don't feel like I have to like it too. You can enjoy your thing. Let me enjoy my thing. Right.
Exactly. And one more tangent, then we'll get to college baseball. And I don't think this is just my friend thing. I think it's people in Boston sports. I know too many people who like Boston sports that think that you want to talk about Boston sports with them. So I have a good friend, who calls me to talk about like the Reds. I was like, I don't like them. I don't care. I just silence on the other end of the phone. Like I'm not going to respond. Like I don't care about your team.
Do you do the thing when he's talking?
Yeah, I just like whatever, dude. He's good enough friend where I can just hang up on him like nobody cares. Like, but like other people that are from Boston, it's like, why do you think we care about your team?
Because you keep going, You're acting like if you think going along, you're drawing him along. He thinks you care because you keep going, yeah.
I'm an enabler. Is that what you're saying? I'm an enabler?
This is on you.
Okay, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I'm just going to not talk now. I'm going to hang up when he calls me.
I'm so scared you're about to hang up on me. That's where I thought you were going with this because I was like, oh no, I've just lost Mitch.
For 20 years, I've had no interest in Texas A&M athletics. I'm just too nice to tell you, Louie.
That's where I scared you were going to go with this.
Yeah.
Mitch, I took a look at your top 25, and this is back-to-back weeks. We don't have a new team debuting. There's no entering the polls for the first time.
Yeah, that's what happens when the last Nebraska was the only team in the bottom 12 that had a losing week. No, Ole Miss did. No, yeah, the bottom 12, Nebraska, and they got swept by Ohio State, which was not good for their hosting chances. But at 16, they weren't going to drop out of the poll. And then Virginia only played 2 games at 25. They're not obviously not going to fall out. Arizona State, Oregon. So yeah, it makes it easier when teams just when it's the status quo, but it's also a little bit less fun. You like to introduce new teams into the poll.
I guess in the back of my head, is there nobody charging from the 26 to 31 spot?
There wasn't really. I mean, there's Jacksonville State has been ranked by others. I don't have them ranked. There's no other SEC team. Tennessee was in a poll last week I saw, but they lost 2 out of 3. So there's really not. There's no team that kind of came out of nowhere and had a big sweep or anything like that. So I didn't do a ton of research on that because, again, no team was falling out of my poll. But it's been, like you said, last 2 or 3 weeks, almost status quo.
Nebraska, you mentioned they got swept. Is there another team in the country that seems to be pulling a harder power fade than Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, not ideal. And they've lost 2 midweek games to Kansas, who's good. They're kind of living on that dominant sweep. Well, one was a walk-off of USC. That's kind of their big – they don't play UCLA in conference play. So USC was one of the other good teams in the league they played. This is a good team, but when you don't play that many big series and then you get swept by an average Ohio State team that really is going, the committee's looking for reasons to put you as a host or not put you as a host. This late season loss, 3 losses in a row, is going to be very damaging in my opinion.
Oh, you mentioned UCLA. They almost lost. They rallied big.
Yes. They were down 10-2 at Michigan State in Game 3, and they are in their quest to go undefeated in the Big Ten. It was one of those things where it's 10-2, and then I saw it was 10-7, and then it was the 9th inning and 10-8. There's a 100% chance they're going to win. There's just no way they were going to lose that game, and they did. You get to a Sunday. A bad Big Ten team or a bottom half Big Ten team, their pitching's going to run out, and it's just a matter of time. So it was cool. I mean, they're undefeated in league play. I think 24-0. They've already clinched the regular season title. They're all but secure. Barring a real bad fade down the stretch, they're going to be the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So right now, all we're really watching is that they're run for perfection.
So. I tend to take more of a hardliner stance on things, right? But if they lose a single game, should they be allowed to host? Because they're playing nobody. The Big Ten's not that competitive. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't want to look. You go perfect, but it's not like they're being challenged weekend in and weekend out.
Well, you're right. They play. This is interesting. They play. Look at their schedule. Something wrong here? May 8th and 10th. May 8th and 10th is this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because since they play Oregon, one of these must be a doubleheader, because I can't imagine they'd only play Oregon twice. I'm on warrennorland.com. I don't know if you use that site, but I use that for my schedules. So they play Oregon, who's good, and then they go at Washington. So, I mean, there's a chance they could lose to Oregon, so that would not be a bad loss at all. But to your big picture question, losing a game when you're this good, if they go 24-1 or even 23-2, 29-1 or 28-2, I would not dock them much. I mean, they've been very good all year. It's very, very, very difficult to win that many college baseball games. I don't care who you're playing. They lost to Sacramento State on a Sunday a couple weeks ago. It's not like they haven't lost any games, but 43-4 is a pretty gaudy record.
It is. Also, how does UCLA end up as the number 1 RPI team? Because their non-conference RPI is 18. Big Ten conference RPI can't be that high. Non-conference strength of schedule is 56. Their strength of schedule overall is 31. How do they end up with the number 1 RPI?
Well, their record's obviously strong. An RPI is your record, your opponent's record, and your opponent's record. So there's a lot of back-end stuff that we don't know. but starting from a 43-4 is putting you in a really good starting spot. And I'm scrolling down their schedule. They didn't play a lot of great teams, but they didn't play many teams. Like they played Loyola Marymount one game, 12-37. Most of the teams they played were right around the 500 mark or better. So they don't have any teams that are really. They play Loyola Marymount again this Tuesday. So they didn't play like a 3-game series against a team that's 10-30 or something like that. That's really what hurts your RPI. Non-conference, they played that weekend in Arlington. They played Tennessee, 31-17. Texas A&M, 35-10. Mississippi State, 36-12. So they just played not a great schedule, but their schedule it does not have many really bad teams.
They have 3 losses in quad 3 and 4, more than any other team in the top 9 RPI. I'm not an RPI expert. I just know how to read an RPI list. I don't know how they're won. Again, they have more quad 3, 4 losses than any other team in the top 9. So they have more bad losses than any other team in the top 9.
Yeah, I just think, and again, I don't. You got to do the math, and we don't know the back. Like when I say the back end, we don't know what.
Yeah, bonus points, road, and
all that stuff. But they are okay. You bring up a good point too. Road matters so much in the RPI. When you are 24-0 in league play, that means you've got 12 road wins. They are 15-0 on the road. So when you have a 43-4 overall record and you have 15 road wins and 3 neutral wins, that's how you're number 1.
I guess so. Like I said, I guess so. They just haven't been challenged. They don't play that many high RPI teams, have bad losses, yet they're 1. And I guess just the pure volume of wins, if nothing else. They're the only team above 40 wins. G-Tech will hit this week. A couple other teams will too. I guess it's just the volume of wins. UCLA, I'm fascinated by them. How confident are you on them making Omaha?
Very confident, because one thing that kind of I like is they made it last year. It's not like a team that's come out of nowhere and then this will all be new to them. It's a core of guys that most of them were on the team last year. They've got good starting pitching. The veteran core, like I said, Rock Chalowski is the best player in the country. Roman Martin, third baseman. And they get Will Gasparino, the transfer from Texas, who's played in big games. So I think I'm pretty good. I mean, you never know. This tournament is littered with number 1 seeds that have struggled either to get to Omaha or not winning it. So it's dangerous to say, they're going to win it all. But, and this isn't a bold statement, I would feel pretty confident about UCLA getting there. In no way do I think they are a fraud as the number 1 team in the country. They are really, really, really good.
We're visiting with Mitch Light of The Athletic. He joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you ever need help getting your land cleared, land excavated, your land fixed up, well, it's in their title. They're d4landservices.com, and check out their website, d4landservices.com. Anyway, Mitch Light joined us, College Baseball Roundup. Mitch Light of The Athletic. I'm looking for teams that are peaking at the right time. And, I mean, there's teams that are winning along, but like every other week kind of thing. What teams do you see that you think are peaking at the right time? We're down to like 2 weekends left in the regular season, Mitch. We're about to get to the good stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought is the SEC, but it's so hard because, as you know, as you saw, everything can change so much in one weekend. But I really like what I'm seeing from Auburn, and I'd like your thoughts on Auburn too. But their pitching is so good. Their starting pitching, they've given up more than 6 runs in just 2 SEC games all year. That is hard to do, impressive, consistent. Their bats aren't great, but they're good enough. So in the SEC, like Georgia's obviously they're first, so like that's a boring pick. Scrolling, around the country, Coastal Carolina is getting healthy. Cam Fluke, who was their great pitcher last year that took them to Omaha, they did good starting staff, but he's their best pitcher. He was out for like 8 weeks with a fractured rib. He's back. That's not an automatic win, but when you can throw maybe the best pitcher in the country on a Friday in postseason and then a regional, that's going to give you a big lift. They beat North Carolina midweek on the road, so that was impressive there. So they're a team that I think is surging. Kansas, we've talked about them in the past. They seem to never lose. They might be a team that's peaking too early, because, you just can't stay hot for that long. So, those are a couple teams. Virginia Tech's playing pretty good baseball. I like what Wake Forest has done. They went down to Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago, lost 2 6-5 games, and lost that game where they're up 10-0, and they come back and they sweep Louisville. So they might be getting their act together. So there's a host of teams out there. But Auburn, off the top of my head, was very impressive this past weekend.
Kansas is 14 in the RPI, man. They're going for that first time ever hosted. And they've only been in the postseason. What, you had it in last week's notes?
Yeah,
is it four
three
times? 3
times.
times?
3 or 4 times. Yeah, they're 20-4 in the league. They're 4 games up in the Big 12. They host West Virginia this weekend with a chance to secure the Big 12 title. My guess, it's the biggest home regular season series in Kansas Jayhawk history, where you got a chance to win the league outright against the second best team in the league.
Do they have facilities that can host?
Yeah, they would build some temporary seating in the outfield. Like, I think their capacity is like 2,300 or 2,400, but I don't know what the number would be. But they can build temporary seating in the outfield.
Mitch, timeout, come back, dude. Let's talk more college baseball.
Sounds good.
Mitch Light of The Athletic joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. It's a Monday thing. It's the college baseball I say roundup, but then he changed the title to the College Baseball Week in Review. Next week, it'll probably be something different. I don't even know anymore. This is the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, and industrial services. It's what they do at CC Electric. This is the Louis Bellina Show, Monday on The Zone.
Texas A&M's home for champions with March Madness, the Super Bowl, and the College World Series. The Zone. 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM.
The Louis Bellina Show, Monday. Back to the D4 Land Services hotline we go. And if you ever need forestry, mulching, pond construction, a metal building, a custom metal building from the ground up, go check out d4landservices.com. Mitch, A&M Auburn. Did you catch any of it? I was just kind of wondering if you had a chance to watch. I know you're busy. You got Wake Forest baseball. You got Coastal Carolina. You got Vanderbilt. Did you get a chance to watch any of the A&M Auburn?
Not really. Went out to dinner Friday night for my anniversary, so I was baseball free. Thank you. And then Saturday and Sunday I was watching baseball, flipping around. But it was on, neither. I don't think games were on. I have the app and I watch games on the app, but it's easier to watch games that are on ESPN2 or SEC Network. So I was obviously monitoring it. And at one point yesterday, it was game 3, I almost turned it over because I saw it was close. But no, I did not watch much again, but followed it.
I have a text message question from Noah that asked if the series against Auburn hurt Aggie baseball. I'm going to let you answer it. He asked me, I'm going to let you answer it.
I mean, it hurt in the fact that they didn't win it, and if they had designs on winning an SEC regular season title. And it hurts as they're trying to be a top 8 national seed, because Auburn, even though Auburn Auburn is 2 games. Oh, I get confused. I forgot about the A&M cancellation. The A&M Texas.
A&M Texas are 1 game up in the whole league, and it screws everybody up.
Right, exactly. I'm doing them. I was like, how can they have 2 more wins? So, like, head-to-head, they're probably going to lose that in the committee room unless the records are 2 games different or more, just because, head-to-head winning in College Station. So, yes, it hurts because you want to be as good of a seed as possible. Does it hurt like, oh, no, this team can't advance far? No, it's an SEC series against a really good team with great pitching. A&M's pitching hasn't been great. Starting pitching hasn't been great. That's maybe their potential weakness there. So kind of long-winded way of saying I don't think many people feel that differently about A&M, but you clearly rather win your home series.
It hurt. The only thing was their chances of winning the SEC, and I think Georgia's final series is like Missouri or something. I don't think anyone's catching Georgia.
Auburn. Georgia still has to play Auburn.
Yeah, but isn't that this upcoming weekend? And then they finish
Georgia
Missouri?
just played Missouri. Georgia just played Missouri.
I knew it was one of their final 3. I guess I had the order wrong in that.
Yeah, I can tell you right now. They play LSU at home. Obviously, LSU swept South Carolina, but LSU's not very good this year. And then they go to Auburn, which could be a potentially huge series.
So kind of 3-3 would be the worst case scenario, I think, for Georgia down the stretch.
Yeah.
That kind of be the worst case scenario. But you know what? I talked about this last week. I don't care about a regular season title. Nobody remembers who won the SEC regular season title. You don't get bonus points for it. For A&M, here's the thing I care about. Double bye in the SEC conference tournament so you don't waste your pitching the week before the NCAA tournament starts, and hosting the super/a regional. And A&M, did they hurt their chance? No. You know why? Because this morning, they're 8 in the RPI with 2 teams left that are 9 and 13 in the RPI. Win both the series, host the Super. That's all that matters.
You know what's going to help them, too, this year?
What's that?
In a weird way, it helps that there are a lot of non-SEC teams that are really good this year.
Yes.
It's not that because there's a pecking order. And, I don't care what the committee says, and rightfully so. Nobody wants 6 SEC hosts in the Supers. It's just not going to work out that way. So the fact that UCLA and Georgia Tech and North Carolina are all pretty much, not locks, but in great position to earn a top 8 seed, that helps these SEC teams fighting. And, I'm trying to think, there's probably not another one. I don't think Florida State, despite their RPI, they get too many bad losses. I don't see them. I know some people talked about Southern Miss. I don't see that happening either there. So, yeah, I mean, they're like you said, take care of business down the stretch. I don't know who they play midweek. Don't have a bad midweek loss.
Prairie A&M tomorrow, which might be one of those games that if you win, you still might move down.
Yeah, but not too much. I mean, whatever.
No, but it don't help you.
Yeah. So, but don't lose, obviously. So, yeah, and it's one of those. I think that was more important for Auburn than detrimental to A&M.
Yes, that's what I just said. It doesn't help to lose. That's a basic concept. I hope I don't have to explain that, but it didn't destroy their season. It did not set them back. Everything they need is ahead of them. Blah blah blah. Just win the 2 out of 3 the next 2, and it'll be okay. Prairie View A&M is 302 in RPI out of 308.
I like A&M to win that one.
If Vegas would take my bet money, it'd be bet $100 to get back a nickel or something like that. But
yeah, something like that. Yeah, here, you want a few A&M stats? I've got access to True Media for college baseball, which I spend way too much time on. There's so much cool stuff you can look find. I was just looking at the starting pitching, some numbers. I sorted by WHIP. To me, pitching stats, I look at WHIP first, walks plus hits plus innings pitched. There's a lot of different metrics people can look at, but I look at WHIP. None of A&M's starting pitchers are in the top in conference games only. Are in the top 14 in WHIP in the league play. Aiden Sims is 15th, Loss is 18th, Tadejo's 43rd, and those 3 are 3, 4, and 5 in the SEC in home runs allowed per 9 innings in SEC games. So obviously the offense is great. I don't think anyone thought the starting pitching was elite, but those numbers surprised me a little bit right there.
Yeah, none of it surprises me. Nothing you said. Aiden Sims has been fantastic. Weston Moss had a breakout kind of start this past Sunday, but hadn't been good. There's a reason why he got moved from the starting rotation. Tadejo's had 2 starts that weren't bad, and other than that, he's been really bad. He has the worst ERA in league play of any pitcher. Matter of fact, I have it right here. Conference play only. Among qualified starters, he's a 9.74, worse than the league. And then if you go overall, he's second worst at 6.55 if you take non-con into it. The Missouri pitcher, Bradley Kellenbrick, has a 6.68.
Yeah, so that, you don't need – they're going to be an interesting case study because it's not like their pitching's bad, but their offense is really, really good. Auburn did a good job, I don't know, neutralizing what the word is, slowing them down, but Auburn does that to a lot of teams. So I think a lot of coaches would take the way A&M's constructed. You just score a lot of runs and hope you pitch well enough.
Yeah, the key is you don't need great pitching. You need pitching at C grade at the end of the game. If it's C grade, you should win with A&M's offense 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and they in league play, as you know, I think they're number 1 in average, number 1 in OPS, ahead of Georgia. So clearly they can score runs.
They're a team that can get to Omaha if the pitching doesn't murder them.
Yep. I mean, clearly, the problem is one bad performance in a super, you're down 1-0, pressure's on, all that stuff. But you cross that bridge when you get to it.
College baseball weekend really, but week in review. Kentucky went to 10. Kentucky at home. Sorry, but took 2 out of 3. You mentioned Tennessee, you just didn't tell us who, but Kentucky took the series.
Yeah, really important for them from like an optics when the committee's going to be looking at them because their RPI is 35. That's typically fine for an SEC team. But to that point, they had won only one SEC series against Alabama in the opener. Then they lost 6 straight. So to beat Tennessee, a good but not great team at home, that's going to do a lot for their resume. If they can just not lose their next 2 series, if they can win one of them, I don't have the schedule in front of me, I think they'll be in good shape. So that was a very, very important for them. And it was kind of again, Tennessee's going to make the field, but they've been kind of creeping up, and they've been so inconsistent. They've got 3 good starting pitchers, but those guys, Kentucky's offense isn't very good, but their first 2 guys got lit up.
We'll stay with life on the bubble. Michigan sweeps Maryland. Big for them. They're 42 RPI.
Yeah, they're kind of on the fringe, Big Ten team. It's just going to depend how they've had 2 games. I think we talked about this last week. They've kind of finagled their schedule where they've canceled home midweek games to go on the road to play decent regional teams to try and help their RPI there. So my guess is they will not make the field, but they're right on the bubble.
Another bubble. NC State took 2 out of 3 from Miami. Man, talk about faded baseball glory, man. Miami.
Yeah, Miami's they're probably going to make the field though. They're in decent. I agree with you, but then I was looking up some Miami stuff. They've made it the last 3 years. They're just not. And
they're
they made a super last
now,
year.
though. Now they're just a participant.
Yeah, exactly. They were like when we were growing up. They were college baseball. They were one of USC, LSU. They were one of the handful of teams that you'd expect to be in Omaha every year. So yeah, they're just another program right now.
Yeah, but the bubble is NC State. For them, they get the 500 in league, RPI sub 40, bubble.
Yeah, and they lost on Friday. And they won their next 2 games.
You think they're in? Still work to do?
Still work to do. I don't have their schedule in front of me. The problem with the ACC, there's some bad teams at the bottom. You can have some bad RPI losses. So, we'll see. They've had a lot of pitching injuries this year. I don't think they're a team that can advance far. But right now, all they just need to get in.
Now, for a lot of those programs, it's just make it, though. It's not even about advancing. They get in and, coach gets a raise and they get $5 extra for NIL.
Exactly. $5, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, when we go back to before the season started, right when it started, and you do the most incredible, your 52-part series from talking to the coaches and stuff, I was stunned. I still think about it. Some of the programs that have no NIL. How can you compete with nothing?
The one that really got me was Washington, where the coach said, we do not partake in revenue sharing. And I'm watching them. They beat Oregon yesterday, who clearly partakes in revenue sharing. So, there's such a wide range of resources, I guess is the right word, in college baseball.
Well, okay. We're hearing about programs getting killed. I'm sure you heard Arkansas got rid of their men and women's tennis team. If you're not going to NIL a baseball team, kill it. You're really telling them that just, take vans, don't bother with showers, and eat Subway sandwiches. What's the point if you're not going to NIL a baseball team?
Yeah, Cal, this is before revenue sharing and NIL. Cal tried to kill its baseball team maybe about 10 years ago. And they had their swan song their last season, but then a bunch of donors, former players, rallied and saved the program. So my guess is that would happen at almost every major conference. I don't think Washington's going to let its baseball program die. But
they are if they're not supporting it.
Yeah. They almost made the NCAA tournament last year, too. So there's more credit to the coach for building that roster. But, yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, Mitch, go be awesome. What's your plan for the week?
Just working for 11.
No, really. What's your plan for the week?
I'm going to work. I'm going to hang up with you. I got a call. I actually have a meeting, a work meeting. I got to do some work today. I know you don't believe me, but I do.
No, when you run the company, you work or don't work. It's your call.
Exactly.
Go be awesome, brother. I'll check in with you next week.
All right, sounds good. See you
later, brother. Mitch Light of The Athletic on the D4 Land Services hotline. He's a part of what we do, college baseball roundup. In the fall, it's, at the college football weekend roundup, I guess. We just hang out. We like to talk sports. Mitch is one of those brainiacs. He scares me a lot. He went to Vanderbilt. You got to be smart to go there. He got this scholarship that's this elite premier for sports writers journalism, dude. It's the who's list. I like talking to him too. Good friend of mine. Mondays on the D4 Land Services hotline. We'll be right back. It's the Louis Bellina Show. Halftime. We're going to 2 o'clock. It's the Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. Built on faith, family, and community, CC Electric. Free estimates, military and veteran discounts. It's what they do at CC Electric.
The Louis Bellina Show. You know how we do. Don't miss the monthly beer recommendations with Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery.
Come on, let's go.
Join Louis weekdays 11 to 2 on The Zone.
It's the Louis Bellina Show. Halftime. Kind of mentioned that. What does that mean? Well, we hang out from 11 to 2. It's about 12:30. It's lunchtime thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. Here is how we do in the time we have left. I'm going to open the ticket booth in the 1 o'clock hour. I've got 2 pair of tickets to go see the Astros and the Dodgers tomorrow night, Daikin Park. All Zone Brian Broadcasting prize eligibility rules, of course they apply, but also if you or anyone in your family has won tickets to the Astros before, anywhere on the Zone or Brian Broadcasting, not eligible. So listen in to win in our final hour together. At 1:20, I've got to listen in. Top 10 quarterbacks for the 2026 college football season. Greg McElroy, awesome stuff. I keep saying this. He talks ball. When I hear something that I think enhances the experience of you and I hanging out, that it doesn't matter what it is, I bring it here. That's what the listen-ins are. And yeah, it's A&M football coaches and players, but also like Greg McElroy, something I hear anywhere. I bring it here to the Louis Bellina Show. So top 10 quarterbacks for the 2026 college football season. A listen in at 1:20 and text messages. But that's every day of the week. It don't matter the when. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Loop Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Loop Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. 979-693-1150. Savannah Bananas. Banana Ball hit Bryan College Station, the Brazos Valley. Matter of fact, right now, as we speak, the owner of the Savannah Bananas, Jess Cole, is live on the Pat McAfee show, which means he's live on ESPN. And the whole opening introduction was the Savannah Bananas in College Station. Not any of their other stops, live in College Station. Their weekend in Aggie Land was a nationwide story and event. 102,000 people watched the Savannah Bananas. That got the attention not just of local sports talk show hosts and local media. It is a national headline. The Savannah Bananas are partnered with ESPN. ESPN carries their games. That game, it's not a game. It's banana ball. I don't even think they call it a game. But Saturday night, the event from Kyle Field was live on ESPN. 102,000, most ever to watch banana ball. Story everywhere I turned, whether it was social media, ESPN itself, live. And by the way, on TV, it came across glorious. The energy, the crowd, just the fun of it all. And then all day long, again, the social world. How many people realized what this was? This wasn't just a 2-hour from 8 to 10 on Saturday night. The Savannah Bananas on Thursday did their first ever pop-up game down at Navasota High School. First 1,000 people. And it was a party event. Then afterwards, they had their first ever pop-up concert with All-American Rejects. On Friday night, three of the Savannah Banana baseball players went to like a local church, gave their testimony and shared. Saturday morning, I don't remember the exact number. There's like 2 or 3 Savannah Banana players went to the local Dunkin' Donuts and did an autograph signing, a meet and greet, so people could go there. There was a rally, and holy cow, did you catch the vibe, the energy, the crowd? Like Aggie Park had the rally before the event. And it was packed. It was insane. Like, there's game days that weren't as crowded as the Savannah Banana Rally was. And if you think I'm full of it, check out Citadel and get back to me. So it wasn't just, from 8 to 10 on Saturday night for 2 hours. There was the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. This was so much bigger and more all-encompassing. And it was kind of 3 days long. And it was epic. It was crazy. And there's some people that don't get it, I guess. But they bring happiness. They are the Harlem Globetrotters. I think that's the correct way to look at it. They're not telling you that they're bringing baseball. They're bringing banana ball. And the crowd is singing and the crowd is chanting. And people are just happy. And we live in a world there sure in the hell is not enough happy. And this weekend, again, just like when the king of Kyle, George Strait, history was made, and the media, and again, entertainment media, mainstream media, national media, social media, covered the king at Kyle, it happened again. So is that 2 of the past 3 years? Maybe I have my timeline off, where Kyle Field, College Station, Aggieland, bringing people in from all across the state. Because you think that 102,000 that was at Kyle Saturday, all were from Bryan and College Station, maybe a couple from Navasota, Snook, Hearn, and Caldwell. No, that's people coming in from Austin, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. Tourism dollars that Texas A&M University can make that maybe will keep your ticket price down by 50 cents for at least another 2 years. Money that hopefully can maybe go to NIL. Why do you think the A&M athletic department are bringing in events that before they never would have thought of because of all the money? They're trying to put off naming Kyle Field, I don't know, Bryan Broadcasting Stadium for as long as they can. By bringing in, they're going to bring in their second soccer exhibition coming up with Argentina? Mexico was the first one? King of Kyle? Banana Ball? This has been a great thing. Watching, seeing all these events. Little old tiny Bryan College Station we get to host. And living here, we get to experience. Kudos to all the people at A&M that have been working and bringing these things in. There's a straight up $ value. What's the $ value to the hotels in town and the restaurants in town? What's the $ value to all this publicity on ESPN? What's the $ value? You get the point. Again, it's still going. I'm just telling you. It's unbelievable, actually. And look at the different avenues. You had the concert with the King at Kyle, Banana Ball, 2 soccer exhibitions. I find myself absolutely fascinated, and I can't wait to see what's next. None of this has been dabbling. None of this has been, bringing in these little things. These are major 90K, 100K plus events they're bringing in. I guess someone realized there that, go big or just go home with this, because none of this has been minor events. Just glorious. Kudos. I said that already, but kudos to the people that are thinking this way, acting this way. I worked with Texas A&M. I forget the number of years. And the biggest frustration I ever had is everything always felt like everyone acted no, because we never done it before. No, everyone could think of 1,000 no's, and you had so much trouble for a while finding anybody that ever would find a reason for yes. And when you see these kind of things, it's obvious you have people there because there's so much that has to be overcome to bring in these events that people are now, yes, make it happen, not no. Why? We won't have enough people. Go find people. Just they're enabling. They're looking for reasons to do things where before everything was a no. Oh, it's so painful at times. Listening where people, the first instinct was no. And here's the 5 reasons no, as opposed to here's the 5 yeses and go figure out how to turn a no into a yes. There seems to be some kind of different mindset and play. And it might just be desperation because everything costs billions of dollars and this is going to make the most money we can. Whatever. It doesn't matter actually, does it? We live in great times here in Bryan College Station where we're bringing in these. And if you hate Banana Ball, can you rationally tell me other than, well, it's not baseball? Because they're not trying to sell you baseball. How can you hate something for being something that they're not telling you it is? That's like hating a dog because it's not a cat and the dog never said meow. How does that work? Anyway. From the actual people that went, I've not heard anything but fantastic, exceptional things. And for people that have kids, holy cow. Banana Ball ruled the world, right? Jim texted and said, double dollar signs, real 25 mil, double dollar signs, exposure, priceless. Yeah, again, Kyle Field, Aggieland, College Station Bryan. These events, these things, it's priceless. It's unbelievable, the exposure being given. And again, just now, Banana Ball, just called the owner, Pat McAfee, ESPN, again, 2 times in 3 days now, just getting this kind of centerpiece focus. It's unreal, man. You can't pay for that. Can't buy that kind of advertising. So I got to take a time out, but I'll finish with this. If you went, you want to share the experience? 979-693-1150. Tag and Taylor texted and said, bananas are outstanding. They entertained and held captive the attention of 102,000 fans. Truly impressive. Thank you, Tag. We'll come back. We'll say bye-bye to lunchtime on the Louis Bellina Show. Presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
The Louis Bellina Show. Dial 979-693-1150. Hello. To visit with him. Hello. Or to win. Hello. On the D4 Land Services Hotline. Dial 979-693-1150.
The Louis Bellina Show. Almost done with lunchtime thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. The Louis Bellina Show inside the Charles Schwab studio. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients by offering personalized guidance and clarity. It's personalized because we got Mark Sim right here in College Station. Get answers to your questions. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. Let me go to the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Peruna and College Station. Louis, that's me, worked 16 years at a church in Navasota. The pop-up game by the Bananas was such a hit that the local business got a boost. I can't imagine what they did for College Station in Bryan. Exactly. Yes. These events, they made money for A&M. Those ticket sales, $102K, all of it. But the people it brought into town, because the $102K weren't just people walking out the door down on Welsh or, William Mitchell and then drop. No. These were important for everybody. Steve from Huntsville. Hey, Lou. What's up, Steve? Love Bananas Ball and all brought to Aggieland. My only suggestion is scheduling when there's not a home baseball series. It should be a standalone event. Thanks, Steve from Huntsville. I agree, but something you got to kind of think about. Banana Ball has a schedule, and you don't know when they could have, because you can't do it in the fall because that's football, right? Don't know if you can do it in the summer because it would be too hot potentially and no one would go, / what was the maintenance schedule for the field in the summer to get it ready for the fall? You don't know the windows. Okay. And you might be like, well, do it this. So it's a lot more complicated with dates. And baseball was supposed to play that day, I think at 4, which would have maybe got it done before Banana Ball. The rain out causing the doubleheader is what made it clash with baseball. Yes, the perfect would be baseball's on the road, but you don't know window is an opportunity. You got to take it if that's all you had. Now, if you intentionally picked it and you had another option, that would be a little tragic. John on campus and texted and said, banana ball is one of the most awesome experiences. Oh, I saw this. The baby race and the video of the car wash a la grown-up movies was hysterical. Yes, that baby race. I saw the video on that, and that literally is kind of insane. I was like, is this real? And the answer is yes, Lou. It was very, very, very real. Got to step aside. I'll be back. Again, if you want to share your banana ball experience, were you at the Navasota pop-up game? Did you go to the Aggie Park rally? Did you go to the game itself? Please do. I'm dying to know. And look, if you went and it was a horrible time, please share too. I don't mind both sides of the coin. I'll be right back. It's the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. It is Monday, because I can read a calendar, on the Zone.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country, and Aggieland is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Polaris Fun Center sells and service Polaris ATVs, Rangers, Razors, Global Electric Cars, Brutus, and the Polaris Slingshot. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone.